Hey you guys, welcome to the First Heart Academy for Earth Science at Microsoft Excel Center. Okay, I told you I'll be posting the rest of the answers to the work that we had started in class today. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I haven't left work yet, so I wanted to make sure that this video was out there for you. Okay, now the information that you're going to need in order to answer these questions, this page is the rest of homework, right? It's all up here on the front page, okay? And this is what I gave you in class today. Now remember, when I went through the front page today, I didn't go into details about all the reading, but kind of gave you a general idea of all the steps of the scientific method without going into details here. But the details in here are what you're going to want to read and understand in order to answer the rest of these questions, alright? So here's what I got going on, okay? Let me take a look at where I left off on the page. Alright, so remember, we had done up to here on the page, and so what I'm going to do is start by answering question number 3, I think, and that's where we're going to start, because we did question number 2 in class, and then we did our experiment with the Coke and the Pepsi, right? Okay. So what happened is, all right, here we go. So what happened is, we're going to go with question number 3. Okay, so question number 3 says, a hypothesis is a blank blank that suggests that a possible explanation to some phenomenon or event. Okay, so if you go back here, you should probably remember what that one is. Remember how we were talking about what a hypothesis is? What's a hypothesis? Okay, so the hypothesis is right here. And if you remember what we had said in class, it's probably in the reading here somewhere too. A hypothesis is going to be an educated guess. So that's what we're going to put right here. Hypothesis, educated guess. Let me do that. Remember, like I said, I was going to go through the answers for you so that everyone should be able to turn this in and get it all correct. An educated guess. Okay, so it should read, a hypothesis, an educated guess that suggests a possible explanation to some phenomenon or event. Okay. Number 4, the blank blank. Now, if you read the information on the other page, you know the 2 words I'm looking for here should be dependent. That's E. Variable. Is what the scientist or the experimenter, right? And these 2 words right here, this was kind of flexible. This one that measures, you should have the word measures, even though the word measures might not exactly be in the paragraph part, but this is what it's going to be indicating. And records. So it should read as the dependent variable is what the scientist or the experimenter measures and records during an experiment. Now the opposite of the dependent variable would be the independent variable. That's an N right there. You can't spell independent variable, remember it's on the other side of the page. It's not very easy writing with a mouse. So it says the independent variable is the one factor that scientists or the experimenter does varies or changes. During an experiment. Okay? So it should read the independent variable is the one factor the scientist or the experimenter varies or changes during an experiment. Okay? And then number 6, all good experiments must only have one independent variable, one thing that you are changing. So this should be one independent variable. And a testable hypothesis. A hypothesis has to be testable because that's how you're going to design your experiment. So remember, your hypothesis is an educated guess, and it has to be something that you can test. Just like in class today, our hypothesis was you can tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi. Is that something that we can test? We sure can, and that's what we did through an experiment. So let me read number 6 again. It says all good experiments must only have one independent variable, and a testable hypothesis. Now, number 7, a control group, that's what this one should say, is a necessary component of many science experiments and serves as a constant. All this information I got from up here, okay? So I'm just helping you along and filling it out for you, and we're going to go over it in class and how I got these answers, okay? And then a constant really, that's an S. Not a 5, an S. Are variables or factors that stay the same in both groups, okay? So again, a control group is a necessary component of many science experiments and serves as a constant. And 8, what's a constant? Constants are variables or factors that stay the same in both groups. All right? So I'm going to erase this. Feel free to pause, rewind, whatever it is that you need to do. And here's number 9. And blank. So this is going to be an experimental group. Is identical to the control group in every way except for the independent variable. Now, even if you're just copying this information down and you still don't know the difference between the experimental group or the control group or the independent variable or dependent variable, that's what we're practicing in class this week. Again, this is all vocabulary that you want to need to know. I just gave myself an idea. Hold that thought. I just realized what else I had to do. Okay. Verbal. I have to get some of this. And then some food. Okay. I just thought of having some idea for another lab that we're going to do. Right. Like I was saying, if you're still unfamiliar with this vocabulary, that's what we're practicing this week so that you can get down some basic terms of the scientific method and the terminology of the scientific method. And terminology of the scientific method in order to do well on any test in any subject in science, because we all use these terms for the scientific method in every science class teaches the scientific method no matter what level it is, all the way from elementary all the way from high school and college. So finishing here, except for the independent variable. That's what I meant to finish off right here. So it should read as an experimental group is identical to the control group in every way except for the independent variable. Alright? And sorry for going so fast, but you know I'll talk about it in a minute. That's why you should pause for the calls and rewind if you need to. Alright. So one last question was question number 10. Let me see, do I have question number 10? Yes, I do. So here, question number 10. We already did number 9 on the other page. A good conclusion will include data collected during the experiment that validates the conclusion. And there it is. That's as far as you needed to go for homework tonight. Remember, tonight is Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. Okay? So, again, for tonight's homework for Tuesday, finishing this page, and I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye.